Like mainly a lot of them are from Guadalajara.
Guadalajara, Mexico. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So there, and then I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of family that's like spread out into other parts of Mexico, but
Mhm.
like my primary family lives in California,
Okay.
and
Okay.
like my parents and my brothers live here. I don't live with them
What
though.
part of California? Because I grew up in California, and I'll tell you a little bit about who I am.
Downey. Like
Oh,
mainly.
Downey. That's like
Yeah.
by the Pacific Boulevard where people hang out, Bell
Mm-hmm.
Gardens, all of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, right,
Right
right.
there.
Awesome. So,
That's kind of where I was raised.
really, what high school did you
Yeah.
go to?
Okay, so I moved here in between third grade. So I only went up to third grade over there and then started third grade here in Vegas. And I've been here since.
Okay. Whoa. So you pretty much
Yeah.
been all your life, right? Cool.
Yeah, kind of. I've been here since 2006.
Okay. Would you say you know a lot of people here in
A lot
Vegas?
of people here in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I do, but I've cut a lot of ties with a lot of people.
Hmm. Oh, good. Oh, good.
I was in
Well,
one of those like moods where you have to just like clean out a lot of people that are no longer.
start fresh and then just be in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You're happy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. So, I mean, I can tell you a little bit about myself before we
Okay.
start the presentation. And basically, the presentation is very quick, but it's going to tell you three things, right? It's going to tell you who we are, who Crystal's going to be representing, who she's going to be working with. It's going to tell you a little bit of the products and services. So, in the future, if you know anybody that needs the products and services, you can possibly refer, her some clients. And
Okay.
third, it's going to tell you how she's going to get paid. So in the future, I don't know, maybe you are looking for maybe a part-time job, or you want to learn into and venture into a new career or do it part-time. We always invite people that want to learn the industry or the business. We always are welcome them with open arms, and we can go ahead and train you. And I think you can do very well, but it's something that you have to be passionate about, something
Yeah.
that you like. And I can tell you that I love what we do here. I love it. I'm very passionate about what we do for families here. But
Hmm.
to tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up in California as well, and I don't know if you're familiar with West Covina, California, Pomona
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. One of my aunts on my dad's side lives there.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
I still have family up there in Glendora, so it's
Hmm.
right by that same area, San Gabriel Valley. So I
Okay.
graduated and I went into the Marine Corps, and
Wow.
in the Marine Corps, I loved it, but it was really tough on my family because I had to deploy. So I went to two
Oh.
wars, war in Iraq in 2004 and then 2006. So I was
Wow.
like, I need to find something that I can control my time and have a little
Yep.
bit of freedom. So I got out and I got involved in real estate in
Hmm.
2008. But you were probably a baby. But
No, I'm
2008.
aware. I'm aware of what happened that
Yeah.
year.
Okay. So it was.
My dad had lost his job, so it was
Wow.
very
It was a while.
it
It
was a
was, it
lot.
was terrible because
Yeah.
people were losing their homes. And,
Hmm.
for me, I'm getting out of the Marine Corps. I'm excited. I'm like, I'm going to go sell some $1 million homes. Well, guess
Yep.
what? There wasn't any, at least here,
Yeah.
right? But I came here to Vegas basically looking for opportunity because there was homes here that were so cheap. My very first property that I bought it for 27,000 with the
Hmm.
intention of flipping it. So I got in the real estate field where I bought a house, I fixed it up, and I flipped it. And I've been doing that for 12 years. I had a dream just to take care of my mother. She's from Durango, Mexico. Unfortunately, I lost my mother in 2009, which it was the most horrible thing you can imagine because I have three sisters. Losing my mom when my baby sister was born was pretty bad. But very thankful for what she taught us and the legacy that she left us, which I'll kind of include it into the presentation.
Hmm.
But just to tell you that I've been doing, the real estate thing for 12 years, and just about 3 years ago, I don't know if you're familiar with Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's an investor to our company,
Oh, I see.
And we started a vision and a message, right? The message is breaking the curse of poverty from our communities. And how are we going to do that? Through financial literacy, financial education. So when I got involved, you know, I was the pioneer for Las Vegas. Now we have 3 offices out here, and we're looking to expand. So when I met Crystal, I was like, yeah, absolutely, you can come work with us. So now she's in transition to leaving her job where she's at right now, and you know, she's excited to come work with us. But I'm excited to share a little bit of who we are, what we do, and how we get paid. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to take you through a quick overview. Like I said, we're recording this so that Crystal can watch it later. But if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask, so that way it can help her out. And then at the end, you kind of answer all your questions, okay?
Okay.
So let's go ahead and you do prefer to do it in English, right? You feel more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I do speak Spanish, but it's not my first. Like, it's not my primary.
You're still learning and perfecting it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of the languages that's like, I feel like I'll always have to keep learning.
Oh yeah. Well, funny story, like when I got out of the Marine Corps, I didn't practice, you know, Spanish for many years, for 4 years, right? So I was losing it. So being in the Marine Corps, I didn't even practice it. When I got out, I was trying to learn it. I was watching like the Pablo Escobar, the novela, so I can learn it again. I was reading like Spanish newspaper. I was reading a lot because we started doing, when we started our mortgage company and the real estate company, a lot of Telemundo, Univision. So I was doing a lot of commercials, and I hate it when you get stuck. You don't know the words in Spanish, so you're trying to like
right.
Or you spit out English words. But here it is. Let me go ahead and do this. I want to make sure you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna start on the left side here of your screen where it says supply and demand.
Okay.
And our company, you know, the industry itself, it's been around forever. So I want to talk to you about the 70s. The 70s is when everything started, where everybody wanted to be a mortgage broker, everybody wanted to be a stockbroker, just involved in a
I don't know if you can hear me, but you froze. Your video froze.
We got disconnected there for a second. We should be right back, okay? Hang tight.
I can hear you now. Oh, wait, it disconnected again.
All right, sorry about that.
Okay, now you got it.
Okay, technology. So what I was telling you is that right now, as of 2019, we're in need of agents because of the supply and demand. So let me ask you a question. Would you rather be part of something where everybody's doing it and there's really no more opportunity, or something where if you get involved within the next 10 years, you can be very, very wealthy? What would you rather have?
The second one.
Second one, right? So that's the position that we're in right now. And if we're able to educate our communities, to really believe in what we're doing. I believe that whoever gets involved in this industry can be very wealthy within the next 10 years. And I'll tell you exactly why right now. Products and services. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you a little story in like
Okay.
2 minutes about
Okay.
how we educate the consumer, how we educate families, and first and foremost, I want to show you a little bit of the products that we educate our consumer on. Number one is term insurance. Term. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of the times we don't believe in life insurance, where it should be a foundation when we're building our financial home. See, when we build a home or let's say a building, you got to have a strong foundation or that building will
Yeah.
collapse. And it's what happens when we build our financial home. If we don't have a solid foundation, it can literally collapse if we don't build upon that. So the next thing is the permanent insurance, which a lot of people don't understand how it works. And then we're going to go into annuities. Annuities is just a better plan for retirement. A lot of times, you've been working for a few years. Sometimes they offer you something called a 401k.
Yeah.
Okay. And a lot of people are like, 401k, I have the best thing on planet Earth and I'm going to retire with millions. But the reality is, when there's a bad economy, they're playing your money on the stock market and you can lose that money. Well, we show people safer ways to control your money versus allowing your employer to control your money and sometimes risk it all, just like what happened in 2008 when the whole economy collapsed. Many people committed suicide because they had been working for 30, 40 years and they had lost over 50% of their retirement income. So they couldn't retire anymore. So we teach people about that. Number 4, living benefits. And Crystal's going to be doing a lot of this, living benefits, debt assistance. When people don't know what to do, the debt is out of control. We're able to assist them with, consolidating their debts and things like that. Legal protection, which I don't get too much involved in that. We have a law firm that we're connected with nationwide, so we can better educate our consumers. And number 7, 401k rollovers, which is exactly what I was telling you about. A lot of people have worked in several jobs. Well, they forget that they left money in a 401k. We're able to find money for them and roll it over into a safer account, which that will be like an annuity or a safer account for them. Now, who we are, and then we'll get into the good stuff, which is the compensation, how we get paid. So the carriers and who we are. So what's your last name, Ben? Because you only gave me your first name.
It's A. B as in boy. A ROA.
A. So how do you say that? Avaroa?
Yes.
Avaroa.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. So, and then your first name is VEN or B?
It's Benjamin, my full name. It's Benjamin.
Okay, Benjamin.
But I go by Ben.
Okay, cool. So I would say, Mr. Avaroa, have you heard of these companies? Because we are not an insurance company. We represent the
No, I have not. No.
Cool. We only represent the top rated companies in America. They have to, all these companies are part of the Fortune 500 companies, which I will mention a few. American National, Mutual of Omaha, AIG. AIG is an international company. They're also in Mexico and other countries. National Life Group, Fidelity and Guarantee, just to mention a few. So these companies are the most powerful companies in the world, and we don't represent only one. We're a platform of brokers. We can bring to the consumer not only the education, but the best products from these companies. So as brokers, the difference between like an Allstate or a State Farm, when they sit with you, if an Allstate agent sits with you, they're only going to offer you Allstate products. When a client sits with us or a family sits with us, we're going to be able to assist them with the best with the best products from multiple companies, so we have them compete for the business. So now knowing like who we represent and the products and services, I'm going to tell you a little story, and then we're
Okay.
going to finish up. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you a story about, I'm right here. This is the foundation. When we build a financial plan, this is the foundation. We're going to meet with the lady. She's 34 years old. So this woman is 34 years old. And let's say that she has 2 children. Okay. And she wants to get a life insurance coverage, or a life insurance policy for 500,000. Okay,
Okay.
500,000, $500,000. So the question here is, Ben, how much do you think it will cost her to get a life insurance policy for $500,000? How much do you think it will cost her every month to have that kind of policy? What would you say?
Every month?
Every month. What comes to mind? $500,000.
Let's see. At least 1,500 to 2,000, maybe a month.
Wow. No, that's good. That's good. Let me tell you why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Ben, within our communities, and within 95% of Americans, we have been left behind from all the strategies that the wealthy use, okay, and the system that the wealthy use. So when I ask that question, is because sometimes we have no clue, because no one ever told us this. We don't learn this in high school or anything. I'm going to uncover how much $500,000 would cost this lady. This lady's 34 years old, and let's say she's very healthy. Remember, she has 2 children. So I'm going to uncover here how much it will cost her. Can you see that, Ben?
Oh.
It's only $30 per month. Okay.
That's like a Starbucks drink every day.
Exactly. It's less than $1 a day, right? So
yeah.
What my point is here is that when I meet with a family, and there's a lot of need for this, you're gonna realize that there is no generational wealth passed on to our next generations simply because of lack of education. So what happens within our community, and when I say our communities, I mean 95% of America.
Right.
What happens is that we're doing a car wash when someone passes away. We're asking the church for money, or we're doing like we're selling something, we're selling food just to cover the minimal expenses. Well, when I explain to a family, and I meet, like I said, with a lot of Spanish-speaking families, and I tell them, listen, it's only $30 per month. What happens here is this lady in this example, from age 34 all the way to 64, she's covered. Meaning that if she passes away, her 2 children, which is her family, her beneficiaries, will receive $500,000. Okay, by her just paying $30 per month. Now, this policy is a term policy, Ben, and the way it works is once she reaches 64 years old, the policy cancels. Well, when the policy cancels out, she's no longer covered, and all the money that she put into this policy, and this is the reason why people don't buy insurance, because they feel that they threw all this money away. The $30, she's been paying on it for so long, nothing happened, she loses her money. So let me take you to the next type of policy, and there's only 3, so we're about to wrap up. This next policy is called ROP. ROP. And it's for the same lady, 34-year-old female, and from age 34 to 64, she's covered. Something happens to her, her kids, her beneficiaries would get $500,000. But if nothing happens to her, Ben, this one's a little bit more. The investment is $100 per month. At age 64, the policy cancels. And the question for you is, what do you think happens to all the money that she's been putting into this policy for all those years? What would you say?
It just disappears.
Yeah, it goes away, right?
To the company.
The insurance company keeps it. Well, that's what most people think. But this policy is called ROP. which stands for return on premium, which means, Ben, that this lady, if nothing happens to her, all the money that she put into this policy, it will be returned to her. 100% of her money will be returned to her. Now, if she
Wow.
passes away, the kids get the benefit of 500,000. But if nothing happens to her, she will get back all her money that she put into this policy, which right there at the bottom, you see that she will get back $36,000. Now,
Nice.
from your perspective, which one's better, number one or number two?
Two so far, of
Number
course.
two so far, right?
Yeah.
So before I get into the last one, Ben, the last one, it's a policy that's a permanent policy, which means it does not expire. It's forever. So once you get it and you keep up with it, for sure you're going to leave a legacy for your family. But before I get into that, I want to share with you that I believe in all these products. And in 2009, like I mentioned to you, I was the one that received that phone call from the doctor, from the hospital, when my mom had my baby sister. She stayed in the hospital, and she stayed there for almost a little bit over 3 months. And I'm the one that received the call, and the doctor said, you know, I'm so sorry, Joe, but your mom just passed away with complications. And it was like my whole world ended, right? And it was horrible because now we have a baby sister, and then my other two sisters, which we now have to raise our baby sister. But why I share this story is that two weeks later, after my mom passed away, we received a call from an insurance agent, just like us, like me and Crystal. And the first words out of his mouth were, your mom loved you guys so much that she left you guys protected. Well, at that time, we didn't know what that meant. And he comes to the house, he delivers a check for an amount almost close to what the example says here. And that money allows us to now pay off the house. And my sisters right now to this day still live in that house. It's completely paid off. Number two, my little sister, she's a nurse in California. She's a registered nurse, and she has a master's degree because of what my mom did for us. See, so from my perspective, the goal is to get this message to everybody, so at least they know and they're not ignorant to the information. They decide to go with the plan or not. It's really not up to us because we don't get paid, just to educate people. It's completely free consultations, but at least they're aware that they can break this curse of poverty. And that's our message, breaking the curse of poverty from our communities. Of course, there's, funding for kids to go to college, there's retirement planning, all of that. But all of that means nothing if tomorrow we get into an accident and we don't survive. So the foundation, it's life insurance. The last one, Ben, before I let you go, is the permanent insurance. Now, this permanent insurance here, Ben, it's one of my favorite products. And the more I study it, the more I learn of it. I'm blown away because I never knew something like this existed. So how does this work? This permanent policy, it's also utilized as a form of retirement. Okay, so how it works, very, very simple. This policy has 3 benefits. Number one, the death benefit does not expire. So in this case, $500,000, it's forever. Number two, living benefits. Living benefits are crucial. Living benefits, the way I like to explain it, it's, let's say that the same lady was approved for this policy today, and then she's all good, everything's good and dandy. And 3 years go by, and in 3 years, she gets diagnosed with cancer. Okay. The minute she's diagnosed with cancer, Ben, she's able to access $500,000 while she's alive. And as you know, cancer is very close to us. Strokes, heart attacks, that's all close to us. So if you have this kind of protection, you have $500,000 to rely In my personal experience, there's one of my clients that got diagnosed with 3 tumors, and we were
Wow.
able to help her, to cash out from her policy while she's still alive. Now, if this lady, let's say going back to the same lady, she decides that she takes her money and she wants to go to another country. Let's say she goes to Europe or she goes to Mexico and she beats the cancer. Well, by her getting better and beating cancer doesn't mean that she has to pay the money back. She can do whatever she wants with that money. She can
Right.
enjoy her money, right? So
Yeah.
with that said, Ben, the last benefit here, there's a cash value. So the money or a
Hmm.
cash accumulation, the money that's going into this policy. In this example, she's putting away $200 from her paycheck every single month. And what it's doing is accumulating for her retirement.
Hmm.
Why is it better than a 401k? Well, when you put money into this policy, you can withdraw money from it if you need it for an emergency, or maybe you want to buy a house or make an investment. So the money going in here, as you put it in, it's growing in compound interest. So
Oh, okay.
let's say 10, 15 years later, you want to like buy a
Hmm.
house, you can
Yeah.
cash this money out and you pay no taxes. You pay no taxes, number one, and you pay no penalties like a 401k. I don't know if you've ever withdrawn money from your 401k, but they're gonna tax
Nope.
you. Never, right? You're still
Nope.
accumulating into your 401k, Ben? Or do you
I
have one? You don't know.
I don't think I have one actually. And it's because I choose not to have one.
Okay. So you choose to do your personal.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing I'm going to share with you here, Ben, is how she's going to get compensated, how
Oh,
Crystal's going to get compensated. And let's say that Crystal here, she's licensed now, and she helped this lady with the $30 policy. Okay.
hmm.
Right there on the right side. We get paid in the following matter. So $30 times 12, it's 360. Okay. 360, we get paid at 120%. So Crystal, for about 30 minutes of her time, will make about 432 at her contract level. Her contract level, let's say, is 432. She
Hmm.
will make $216. And within this industry, the insurance industry, all the work that you do, like, when you sell something at your work right now, you get a
Yeah.
commission, right?
No. We used to, but now we don't. They just instead they took away the commission and now they just give us a higher hourly pay.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Well,
they wanted something more predictable for everyone.
well, because of the times right now, right? They don't know if
Well,
you.
it's actually been like that for like a year now.
Oh, so before.
Before, yeah, before everything happened.
So here with us is basically you spend 30 minutes educating a client. They like what they hear. They get a
Hmm.
policy. She would get paid $216 for about 30 minutes of her time. And every time that this policy renews every year, she's still going to get a little piece of it for the rest of the life of that policy. Now, number
Wow.
two, let's say that for whatever reason, Ben, one day you're like, hey, I would like to get licensed with the brokerage, maybe work with you guys part time. Let's say that you help this lady with the
Hmm.
ROP policy. Okay.
Hmm.
The lady pays her first month's premium $100. You get paid the minute the first premium is collected. You get paid 100 times 12 is 1200. Okay,
Wow.
1200 at 120%, okay, represents 1,440. So, Ben, how would you like to make $720? Let's just say an hour of your time. It's like doctor money, attorney money, right? And
Yeah,
it's a simple
I would think so.
license. It's a simple license that you would have to get, which you're very,
Hmm.
very intelligent guy. I'm pretty sure you can do very well. The last policy, same numbers, same math, but you helped her out with a permanent policy, which we call that an index universal. It's a policy. She puts in 200 dollars per month times 12. It'll pay you, Ben, 2,400. At 120%, you're looking at 2,880. Break that in half. That will be 1,440. So with that said, that's pretty much the end of the presentation, Ben. I want to thank you so much. I definitely want to respect your time. Are you going to work in today?
Yes, in 30 minutes, I'm going to be heading to work.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you go here, but I wanted to